Hey folks, it's Joy. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about how to do the college interview. Not how to do okay, not how to not fail it, but how to do really well so that you can get into the college you want to get into. I'm talking about those top colleges where you have to do the interviews to even have a chance. Before I get started, go ahead and like the video if you appreciate my content, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Try to upload videos every week talking about everything college admissions, all the stuff I've learned from my years as an admissions reader, so that you don't have to guess at how to get it right. I upload, I like giving the info, like helping students get into college, so subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my videos. Alright, so today I said I'm going to be talking about, get this light here good again, talking about the college admissions interview and how to get it right, how to be successful at it, and how to like ace it. And I think of it as being much like a job interview. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but I think the college interview is a lot like a job interview. Meaning, if you want to do it well, there's a couple things you got to get right. And so the first thing I would say is do your research. Just like a job interview, you don't want to go into a company, especially large corporations, not knowing who the CEO is, not knowing the mission of the company, not knowing where they have their major offices, the major organizational structure, where the headquarters is. And so I would say the same thing about a basic college interview. If you're going to go interview for some of these schools, Ivy League, the top state, some top liberal arts private schools, Harvard comes to mind, some of these Cornell interviews, then you want to know basic information about the school. Especially if you're interviewing long distance, doing a distance interview in somewhere like California, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't know, I thought Harvard was in Massachusetts, or was in Boston, I didn't know it was in Cambridge. Kind of things like that, like basic info. That you know, like these schools also have a graduate side, or, you know, is it possible to live off campus or off campus? These are basic things that you should be able to find out online that I wouldn't necessarily say for a college interview, just because that kind of research should be done beforehand. And it just kind of proves that you're not going in blind, just guessing and seeing what sticks to the board, or throwing a dart and hoping that it goes well for you. You've actually done a little bit of research. You know why you want to go to the school. You're passionate about their mission. You're passionate about the culture that they've cultivated on campus. And it's just the basic you should do for any interview. So I'd say number 2 is prep for answering common interview questions that shouldn't be a surprise to you once you get in the interview. And some of those for me are, you know, tell me about yourself. Why do you want to attend this college university? Why do you want to go to college overall? What do you want to study in college? What do you think are your strengths and weaknesses? What do you enjoy doing outside of academics? Who do you most admire? What's an example of an obstacle or failure you've overcome? And then tell me about something you can't read in your application. So I know that was a really quick list, but those are just questions that I think anyone should prepare for a college interview, and it'll really help you be successful in the long run as far as preparing and saying, oh, I don't know what they're going to ask, I don't want to be caught off guard. That list of 8 or 9 questions, you can be almost guaranteed you're going to hear at least a handful of them, 3 to 4, maybe all of them, because they're basic interview questions. And as an interviewer, being asked interview questions both for jobs and college, and asking the questions for jobs and for college applications, scholarship applications, these are the list of things I would ask that I'd expect any candidate or applicant to be able to answer. Or the next thing is like dress like you care. Almost any college, it would be inappropriate to show up for their interview in a t-shirt and jeans, or even, you know, what you might wear to school on a daily basis. So I suggest business casual, and I'll put up a little graphic for what that means. But basically, nice slacks, blouses, button downs, nice pair of shoes, you know, hair combed, belt, things that you would wear to, maybe if you're a religious person, that you would wear to a religious ceremony, a casual religious ceremony, something you might wear to a graduation, college graduation, or something you might wear to a job interview if you've done that so far at an office setting. So definitely wear business casual, dress like you care, just is what you would be expected to wear in any semi-professional setting, and a college interview is that. So definitely wear business casual. This is number 5. Or 4, I wanted to just throw this in there. Be excited. Like, a college interview shouldn't be gloom and doom. I always say that. It should be fun. Like, come in there and show your enthusiasm and your passion for being there. It's not all about, you know, being nervous or apprehensive, and all those things are perfectly okay. You're deciding on where you're going to spend the next 4 years of your life, a decision that affects your entire life. And then, you know, what you study and where you want to study, and doing interviews is just difficult, but it's still something to be excited about. Choosing a college and getting to meet a new person and talk more about your dream college is so much fun, if you ask me, and so I think you should be excited. And it'll help you get over some of the nerves. When you're genuinely excited about something, your nerves kind of go away in most circumstances. Next thing, definitely be on time. I know that should go without saying, but even if you think, you know, I know where normal traffic is and I know I can make it on time, just leave 30 minutes early, just in case there's an accident or your bus is late or something else crazy happens, like you didn't get gas when you thought you had gas. You don't want to be late, just like why you wouldn't want to be late in a job interview. It just doesn't look good on you as an applicant to not be able to show up on time, because I immediately go, is this kid going to be able to show up for class, or they're going to be able to show up for meetings with their professor, and it just looks unprofessional. So avoid being late. Bring notes. It's okay to have a copy of your resume and your application and just any questions you pre-answered in the notes in front of you. Again, there's nothing wrong with being prepared. I'd rather be overly prepared than underprepared, which means having notes in front of you is something that I would totally expect applicant to have. No, I wouldn't read from the notes verbatim, but if you said, oh, let me just look that up, I can't quite remember, or yeah, I wrote about this, let me just look at the answer and I'm happy to talk about that, that's perfectly fine, and it's something I definitely recommend. And then be prepared to ask your own questions. A question I always recommend, whether in a job interview or a college interview, is to say, you know, is there anything on my application, say this to the interviewer, is there anything on my application that concerns you or that you're worried about or that you'd like to know more about? And in that way, you're not leaving an interview with the interviewer wondering, oh, you know, this wasn't one of the questions, but I really want to know, you know, why they got a C in junior year, what happened, or why they all of a sudden quit football after, you know, playing it since they were, you know, 10 years old. So, you know, maybe you have those questions that may not necessarily get answered if they're following a standard rubric, but if you ask that question, is there anything that concerns you or you want to know more about, or, you know, what can I tell you more about myself? That's the perfect opportunity to clear up any gaps or to answer any concerns that the interviewer might have and not leave them wondering. Number 9, I think number 8, to have a successful interview is follow up, you know, after a couple days, or even at the earliest, the night before, the night of, the day after. Email the interviewer, send them a quick voicemail, say, hey, it was nice to meet you. I was really excited about what we got to talk about. Please let me know if there's any other questions I can answer for you, or if there's anything else I can do in between now and the admissions deadline. I think that's just an appropriate way to, you know, to say, I'm still interested. I liked our conversation. Please feel free to reach out. And it's proper etiquette. Again, it shows some professionalism that a lot of high school students might not have, and it sets you above the other applicants who may not think to follow up. Something I definitely recommend. And then lastly, be yourself. This is an opportunity for the interviewer to get to know who you are, not who your parents want you to be, not who you think the admissions officer wants you to be. So definitely use this time to show who you are, because that's who is going to show up every day to go to class, and you don't want to be someone you're not and then end up going to a college that isn't a good fit for you. And plus, that genuineness, that authenticity will shine through in your interview. So just be yourself and you will no doubt be successful in your interview. But that's what I got. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.